Hey guys, it's Pearl here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Doing my nails and giving you guys a little story time. Story time is how I got preferential treatment in elementary school. So we're gonna get into the video. So I was going to this school and I was in like either the fourth or the fifth grade. School was kind of sort of over already and it was time to go home. So this was like a really small school. So it had just one school bus and we weren't very much, but the bus was little. So they had to break us up into like two batches. So there's like the first batch to go home and then there's the second batch to go home. And then we entered the bus and since it's like a small school, everybody like has where they already stay, with the school bus. Come on. Everybody knows where they sit already. So we just went straight to our seats, which is what we do every day. And then the proprietor, the owner of the school, he just kind of like walks in and then he's like, "No, you guys go to the back." Just pointing at myself and my sister. At first we're like stunned. We're like, is he talking to us? Why do we have to go back? We didn't want to move because that was our normal seat. Everybody already kind of knew that. But then, just to avoid trouble, my sister just kind of like, she's like, all right, I'll go. And then she starts moving to the back. We're not really knowing why we're moving. But all of a sudden, just before she's about to like sit down, he's like, no, get off the bus, get off the bus. And then I'm like, what's going on? We're like, okay, well, we get off the bus. And then we got off the bus, just me and my sister, just two of us. And then he's like, go inside, back into the school compound. And then we're like, okay, we go back in. And then we watch as the bus leaves without us. We're like, what's going on here? We're like, okay, maybe he wants to pick us up with the second batch because there's two batches. We were always part of the first batch, but like, okay, maybe he just snapped. He's like crazy today and he wants us to go with the second batch. So we didn't think too much of it. And then we waited with the second batch students. We were like, okay, yeah, we're gonna just wait till the bus comes back for these guys. So we waited. And then eventually the bus did come. We went out with the other kids. He was in his office, by the way. You'd like see him through because it's all glass. So he was just sitting there doing some paperwork. And then we follow the second batch kids out. And then just as we're about to like enter the bus, the driver comes. He was like our friend. He was kind of cool. So he was like, no, the proprietor said you can't come in. And then we're like, really? He's like, he doesn't know that he was just given orders to make sure we don't get on the bus. And then we're like, what's going on here? Okay, maybe he wants to take us home after, or is there some sort of talk waiting to be given? Does he want to talk to us or something? I was like, I don't even understand what snapped in his head that day. But So we went back into the school compound. Everyone, our friends were like worried about us. They're like, oh, why are they leaving those guys behind and stuff? But nobody said anything because, proprietor's orders. So we just go back into the school compound and wait. At this point, I'm like already tired and hungry and I needed to pee. My sister was fine. She was just angry, because she didn't understand what's going on because we were supposed to be home at that time already and then we weren't. So she was kind of annoyed. She never really liked the guy anyway. I mean, the proprietor guy. So she was already mad. She was losing her mind. And then we just kind of stayed there for a while. This man sat in his office and he didn't even, do anything. He was just there doing paperwork. And then I was like dying because I needed to pee. I was like asking my sister, like, should I pour all my water out of my water bottle and pee in there? Because the toilets were locked. Everything was just messed up. And even if the toilets weren't locked, I don't think I would have wanted to go in there because it was getting dark already and it was a pit toilet. You see what I'm talking about? It was this terrible school. So we just kind of waited. I was holding it in. I was dying. And then he just comes out. He's like, do you guys want to eat? And I'm like, eat? Do I look like I want to eat? I mean, I did want to eat, but I don't want any food from him. So my sister was like, no, we're not hungry. And then she asks him when we're like going home because it was getting dark already. He mumbled something about us wanting preferential treatment. I'm like, what? You're talking to like 6, 7, 8-year-old like kids and you're telling them that they want preferential treatment. I'm like, come on, are you even for real? I didn't even have the heart to be mad because I was holding in pee. So I was just like mad that I couldn't pee. That was just my problem. And I was hungry, but food was the last thing on my mind. So the bus came back eventually again and the driver was like waiting with us, and I think he talked to him and said we should take us home or something. I don't know what was going on in his head. He parked the bus and went somewhere, and then eventually the guys like come into the bus. We're like happy. We're like, okay, we're going home now. It was already dark. So eventually, like, this dude drives us home, and then he switches seats with the driver. He's like in the passenger seat, like the shotgun, and then he like switches with the driver, and then eventually the driver gets off because it's late and he has to go home to his family. So he like lets him go or whatever, and then he drives us home. So us, we knew that our mom would have been like worried sick. So we knew exactly what we were expecting when we got home, you know, how she would be. But what we didn't know was how angry she would be reacting to what he did to us, because that wasn't funny. Like, I still don't know why he did that. But anyway, he drives us home. My mom's waiting outside. I think the moment he like catches sight of her, he doesn't reach our house. He just like enters our street, drops us off, and turns around and drives away like really quickly. We had to walk in like deeper into the street to our gate so we can come to the house. And I was like, what was that? My mom was mad. She was fuming. And then, you know, that was just weird. Since then, you know, I've never looked at those people the same way. We didn't go back to the school for a while. And, you know, they had to come back and apologize and explain to my mother why they did that, because it didn't really make any sense. And then he was like, something about preferential treatment. That word is so annoying to me. Every time I hear it, preferential, ugh, it sucks. So yeah, that's how I got preferential treatment from my proprietor. We're gonna wait for this to dry. Alright guys, they are finally dry and done, and here is the finished product. I wanted like orange flowers. They look kind of pink, and I've got like rhinestones going on. Yay! I really like them. I didn't do this hand because I do so much with my right hand, and this is just an inconvenience on my right. So I always do my left, and then I just use like the clear varnish on my right. So yeah, they're really, really pretty. I really like them. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time and enjoyed me overall. Like, yeah, I hope you liked the nail. If you did, then consider subscribing. The button's down below. Turn on post notifications if you decide to, and like this video if you enjoyed it. So yeah, that's it, and see you in my next video.